It's my privilege to have been involved in the Heritage Christian School since the second year of the school, and to watch Don and Walt Best really develop a school in which the focus was on discipling students and pursuing excellence in education, and then keeping the person of Christ and the Bible at the very center of what was going on. And the end result was going to be a curriculum from pre-K through 12 that had a biblical worldview emphasis. And that's really been exciting to watch develop over the years. Over the past years, the major financial fundraising projects really have focused on buildings and other projects that have gone on the campus. And so that's been the major focus in the past. And as a result, God has blessed this school with a campus that is really not typical of Christian schools. It's an outstanding campus. And so we've been very blessed, and God has provided so much for the students and for the families here at Heritage Christian School. When we were talking about mission impact and the planning strategy of it, John 21, 4 through 14 came to mind, and it was really a critical passage as we were starting to think about mission impact. And if you recall that story, the disciples had just seen Christ. They had seen him in their presence. He had been resurrected, and then they were still not quite sure of what they wanted to do. And so they were confused a little bit. They were nervous. They were afraid. And so they decided just to go back and do what they were what they had normally done. And so some of them went back to fishing, and that's where we find the story in John chapter 21, is going back fishing. And so we see these men out in the boat, and they haven't caught anything, and all of a sudden this person on the shore, which was Christ, they didn't recognize Christ at the time, and he called out to them, "Have you caught anything?" And they said, "No, we haven't caught a thing." And he said in his very usually simple way, he said, "Cast your net on the other side of the boat." And they immediately responded. And so they threw their net on the other side of the boat, and immediately the net was full. And their response was really interesting because John, it seems to indicate that it was John, said, "It's the Lord," because he realized that no one else could have done anything like that. And then Peter, in his impetuous way, jumped out of the boat and swam over to see Christ at the shore. The other guys, they all stayed in the boat and worked with the nets and pulled the nets in. Eventually, everybody was involved in taking care of the boat and pulling the nets in and taking care of the fish. The newness of what we're doing with Mission Impact is very similar to this event, and that's what encouraged us with John chapter 21. The Mission Impact is very similar in the sense of working with the people and the friends and the families of Heritage Christian School. And the strategy is not necessarily a whole lot different than what we've done in the past, but the main emphasis is going to be not a building and not a project, but it's going to be an annual fund. Well, the challenge is that we'd really like to see everybody involved in Mission Impact. We would like to see, again, faculty and staff. We'd like to see families. We'd like to see the kids. We'd like to see friends of Heritage Christian School all be involved. And the two main ways to be involved, obviously, are prayer and also in giving. And we want everybody to really consider before God, what should they be doing and what can they do? And some will be able to give in a significant manner, and some may not to, but every little bit is going to help as far as the development of this annual fund. We want to see God being the center. We want to see Christ being at the focus of what we're doing here, and that the end result will be that as we participate and are involved, that we are all amazed at what God is doing. And so we really don't want anybody to miss out. And that's what happens a lot of times with these types of things, is people are sitting on the sidelines, and then when the end result comes, they all say, "Boy, I wish I had been a part of that." And this is the opportunity to get involved. As we think about Mission Impact and the annual fund, I would want to encourage everyone in the Heritage Christian School community to join together so that when we see God at work, we will enjoy the experience of being amazed at all that He is doing. Just as we have in the past seen all that God has done, and we've been thrilled by that, we want to encourage you all to be a part of this so that we can be amazed together.